game.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios.
Driven by General Tire.
It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Daniel Suarez amigos will be coming in here to the Freak Nation here on MAV TV, the Freak Radio Network, and every other video application and audio application you can imagine. Daniel Suarez, did he save his seat with that win at Atlanta? We'll get to that, Freak Nation. Chase Elliott, your 9-time, 6-time, whatever it might be, most popular NASCAR driver? Really? We'll get to that. Noah Gragson, the redemption tour for Noah Gragson. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. One of my favorites, Stat, Crasher, Suave, yours truly. Brittany Force will be here in the Freak Nation. 2-time Top Fuel champion. She will be here. Does it get any better? It gets even better. 17-year-old Connor Zilisch, who you saw on MAV TV over the weekend on Saturday, win again in the TA2 class. Trans Am, their TA2 class. Bam! Connor Zilisch, 17-year-old. He wins from start to finish. He'll be joining us here in the Freak Nation. Be a part of this. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're there for you, man. What a finish. We got to get to this finish out of the gate in Atlanta.
There's really nothing else anybody's going to be talking about tomorrow. And no disrespect to any other motorsport,
right? Or
even the Lakers, the Golden State Warriors. No disrespect to any of you. Nobody is going to be talking about anything except for the 3-wide finish in Atlanta.
Now, there was a discussion I saw on Twitter earlier that there was a closer finish.
There's two closer.
Okay, there's two closer finishes than this, correct?
This is the third. The wiki page has already been updated. Okay. Way to go, NASCAR stat people.
Right.
This is the third closest finish in NASCAR history. Yes. But arguably, we still don't have someone who is verified. Is this the closest 3-wide finish in NASCAR history? Who knows? But the 1-2 is the third closest in history.
Statman, we talk about stats on Daytona for the Daytona 24-hour and how you can have 2 or 3 cars after 24 hours vying for a win and for the overall when they're milliseconds apart from each other. I still feel the same way, given the fact that these are big damn stock car engines. I get it. V8s that are going bonkers out there, but the fact that we can have 3 cars that could be that close at the finish on, frankly, it's a super speedway there in Atlanta, how they can continue to have the 3 cars there at the finish with Kyle Busch, Daniel Suarez, and Ryan Blaney is still a technological bonkers idea for me.
I agree with you, Kenny. I think one of the bigger issues, though, is the fact that they had 3 cars that could finish the race after they were banging into each other from lap 2 to lap, 2000. I mean, the finish was it. I'm sitting here watching it saying, hey, wait a minute. And, but the fact they had 3 cars, I think it was 9 yellow flags and a red flag. That was a stupid race.
I believe it was, I don't know which announcer it was that brought this up. The fact that, again, Crasher brought this up in our not our Twitter feed, but our text feed earlier on Sunday with Atlanta very proud, or at least the announcer talking about it's the biggest, most involved wreck at Atlanta. Crasher, what was the quote? It's like, come on, whoa, do you really want to, your second lap, you got 20 plus cars that got bonkers. There we go. There's the freaking balloons again that are going bonkers on the second. Do you really want to promote that, Freak Nation?
Yeah, they said something about how the biggest pileup in Atlanta Motor Speedway history. Not necessarily. I mean, sure, we know that promotions are made off of crashes, but NASCAR, through some generations of leadership, have wanted to claim that they have the best drivers in the world. You can't say that you have the best drivers in the world and then have one of the biggest pileups in history at a certain track on lap 2. Come on. And who was it? Josh Williams? Or who was it?
It was Josh Williams.
Yeah, who said, gee, I thought I got out of the ARCA series a couple of years ago. Ouch.
Yeah, you typically don't see that in the first 5 laps in a NASCAR Cup race, but a lot of us were thinking, man, are we going to have enough cars left from that? Daniel Suarez got caught up early. He had issues with his car, and he goes on to contend for the win and gets the win on Sunday. If there's ever an example for me, I try and find examples for my 10-year-old daughter about never giving up. You can be down 10 goals in your soccer game, but don't give up, baby. Okay, you're down 10. You're not going to win the damn game.
Hold on. She was blown away by Suarez's win today. So, yes, we missed opportunity, missed parental opportunity right there. She loved seeing him in the winner's circle, and we didn't even use it as an example of never giving up.
Was she actually acting as a fan, or was she just upset that she didn't get a chance to have any of the candy that spilled out of the pinata that he pulled?
She didn't think that was real candy. No, she thought that was fake candy. She's like, that's not real candy, Mom. They wouldn't waste that on a racetrack. They did, babe.
And
no, she was a real fan. She's like, oh my God. She's in a dual language school, so Spanish is so near and dear to her heart. And so when she, basically put 2 and 2 together, which she did last year or the year before, that he is a Spanish-speaking driver, she's always had a fondness for him. So seeing him in victory lane today, she's like, that's like one of my guys. It's one of her favorite drivers. So, yeah, it was a cool moment for sure.
When you look what Daniel Suarez has done, this race will, again, I like what Jeff Gluck said. I'm going to know where I was when I saw this finish. I'm going to be sitting next to my daughter and Crash watching this finish where I was on a Sunday afternoon at the time. But what's going to happen is and here I come with Debbie freaking Downer out of the gate, man. You're going to have Las Vegas coming up on Sunday. It's like, oh my gosh, here comes a cookie cutter. Can you maybe just take a week off? When maybe there's a clause where you take a week off and let us just take this thing in for a couple of weeks and then forget about it and then move into Las Vegas? No,
hold on. There's some marketing-ish in sports that kind of you're touching on. The Super Bowl. You have your champions crowned in the NFC and the AFC. Then they take 2 weeks off and just slam the media with all these talking points. You're right. You should have Daytona and Atlanta, 2 amazing races, 2 tracks that produce amazing races overall. I mean, yeah, some of the cautions we could have done without,
right?
But we're talking about it, aren't we?
Yep.
Because the finish, give us 2 weeks to throw things at the media.
Even better, what if you had a really terrific race like we just did today, and then you take a month off?
Actually true. Let the NHRA season opener happen. Let the IndyCar season opener happen.
Oh, and then in the middle, you can do a race behind closed doors too.
You understand, Crasher? Yeah, I was going to say, Crasher, do we need to spell it out for you?
Oh, I see. Yeah,
oh my God!
No, it did. It went right over my head.
I got jokes tonight, everybody.
Hey-o.
Nice.
You could say this is a joke, but it's not. I really learned some stuff from Kevin Harvick today since he just got out of the car. He's telling us stuff that the other guys don't know about. And I appreciated that. In fact, I turned around once and, stopped and listened to him because, and believe me, I'm not a big Kevin Harvick fan, but since he just got out of the car last year, he's going to tell me something. Clint Boyer's been out of the car for how many years? I'd learned something from, I've already forgotten what it was, but I learned something from Kevin today.
Kevin was spectacular today. Yes, he was good at Daytona as well, but he's going to be good this year. I'm excited to have him in the booth.
And having Harvick in that position, watching that finish is fantastic. He's fresh out of his hot rod, watching that finish, 0.003 seconds, splitting those 3. That's what I enjoy when you have a fresh set of eyes and ears and a mouth that what the Statman was talking about, that we can relate to, or at least understand the anxiety, the excitement that's going on with those 3 drivers. Kevin Harvick was all about it.
Yeah, and he was all about the car of tomorrow, whatever the new car that they introduced, was it last year? He knew some things about that and how it reacted and how to get it to react, and racing at Atlanta. And I think he said at one point it wasn't his favorite place to race, but there was a lot of stuff that he has from experience just getting out of the car, and he's going to tell us something that he's not going to just say, man, they're going fast, but he's going to tell us why.
There were several drivers, Suave, I'm not sure which ones they were, that talked about how it might have been Gilliland and another one that I can't recall, that talk about how it's a love-hate relationship with Atlanta, where Atlanta frankly scares them.
But it's a different Atlanta than what many of them grew up racing.
Yeah, yes, it is. But still, it scares them to go to that track. Suave, do you remember who it was?
Yeah, you're thinking of David Gilliland, who on his radio, and I'm glad Fox played the audio as well. He basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said that, like, this is scary as hell, but it's also fun as hell. Yeah. In contrast to, and somebody pointed this out too, in the Athletic preseason anonymous poll, somebody in NASCAR, not sure if it was a driver or somebody else, but they were basically like, I want a tornado to hit Atlanta. I do not want to go back here. It's a miserable place to go to in this new configuration. And I think they got proven wrong on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, that was a great race, a fun race. There was actually, you had a good amount of passing after Kyle Busch and a number of other drivers talked about that fuel-saving Daytona 500, where they were running at about 60% around the track for numerous laps. It was good to have this happen this weekend. We've got Las Vegas coming up next weekend. Speaking of Atlanta, your winner, Daniel Suarez Amigos, your winner will join us next. Daniel Suarez coming up. SpeedFreaks Pits and Lucas Oil Studio.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas Fuel Treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation. Coming up in moments, Daniel Suarez, your winner from Atlanta. He'll be joining us here in the Freak Nation. But this segment brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. Do yourself a favor, Freak Nation. Go to lucasoil.com. Check out a line of products to keep your rides fat and happy. A great website to check out weekly to find out the products to keep inside your engine, outside your engine, outside your car, inside your car. They got the products. Check them out at lucasoil.com. So Daniel Suarez, 0.003 seconds ahead of Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney.
We'll get to that in a bit. Do some news and notes?
Yes. Thank you, Crasher. Again, that's why women are here, man.
It's been a long day. Let's just tell the truth. We've been up since 5:30 this morning because of soccer tournaments. We are those parents.
Thank you, Crash. What the hell did I miss? Yeah, we got pit news and notes. Daniel Suarez coming up in about a minute and a half. Crasher, get me out of here, will you?
All right. Let's just keep it easy. Supercross. Supercross was back in Dallas, and it was much of the same, right? Sort of. Cooper Webb, he now has 6 wins in the Dallas area. So at least crossing the finish line has become much of the same as of late. 6 wins now. But this one, all right, it might have been a little bit of a gift by Jet Lawrence's fall, but a win's a win. Like Coop said, quote, I might as well just buy a suite here because I love this place. It's always good to me. Yes, it is. Another crash, this one by Austin Faulkner in the final minutes of the 250 main. It led to the first ever Supercross win by Hayden Deegan. Trans Am season opener was in Sebring, Florida this weekend, the Sebring Speed Fest. In TA2, stop me if you've heard this one before. Silver Hair Racing's Connor Zilisch won the TA2 pole, led the field to green, and led every lap to win the opener on Saturday. Connor will be joining us second hour. Is that correct?
Yep.
Second hour. Sunday belonged to Paul Menard in the Big Boy TA Series. Wally Dullenbach and Amy Ruman rounding out the podium. But the finish that everyone will be discussing around the water cooler on Monday, heck, probably even Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday, the NASCAR Cup 3-wide Cars movie lookalike finish. Don't believe me? Look at several Twitter accounts right now. At Atlanta, a race that didn't start too well, producing the big one on lap 2, then proceeding with the greatest number of cautions in an Atlanta race. But let's be honest, after arguably the closest 3-wide finish in NASCAR history, a finish that took over the trending topics on USA's Twitter, X, for a good minute or so, that's all that really matters now, right? Kyle Busch wedging his way between Ryan Blaney and Daniel Suarez, and all 3 of them holding position to the line, with Suarez just edging Blaney by 0.003 of a second. Busch then only 0.004 behind them. All right, a slew of topics we also hope to discuss tonight as well, including Firebird is back in Phoenix. Of course, that announcement was made in December, but we talked to Brittany Force this week. She was in town, and we discussed that and more. IndyCar versus F1, the boxing match, as Suave so eloquently put it on X. The greatest spectacle in racing writes, who does Formula One think they are, stealing a trademark and now putting it on merchandise? Maybe we'll get to that. And then, speaking of IndyCar, Roger Penske. Some believe he's completely out of touch. Others say he's just towing his sponsor's line. Quote, we need to push out EV, electric vehicle mandates. Oh, really? Oh, do we? Isn't that the future? And then NASCAR drivers and their underwear and their gloves. Fun stuff coming up. But yes, Kenny, back to the finish.
The hell's going on? Finish. Underwear and gloves and Roger Penske speaking jive where we can't understand it. But hold on a second. I got my...
He had a birthday last week.
I got my Managing Millennials book here. With Suave being the residential millennial. Let me see. Water cooler talk. Richie, is there any more water cooler talk going on with millennials, or is it water bottle talk? Do you guys talk around your water bottles?
Actually, that's a great question.
Right.
I don't know if what the modern day version of that is. Yeah. Actually, that's great. I don't know. You stumped me.
Well, Crasher made reference to it about, again, the water cooler conversations
that
have been
going on. The Keurig conversation. Can we talk about coffee pods?
Yeah.
Keurig pods?
Yeah.
But there's still water coolers in offices, right? For those people who still go to an office.
Yeah, but when was the last time that you just... No, it's people have... Our kids, they don't know what a water fountain is.
Oh, yeah, the fountain.
We went to a freaking park where there was refreshments and all kinds of things to drink. Dad, don't need to bring my water bottle? Listen.
That's good point. Oh, wow. And you're right. I have mine right here. Yeah, that's all we do anymore, right? Just carry water.
It's the water cooler of today. I mean, that's where people talk to each other through X or Instagram or other social media.
Yeah.
So social media is the former water cooler.
Yeah.
Got it.
There it is. All right.
That'll work.
Again, you brought up your pit news and notes,
I
Crash. I
did.
just thought millennials. Do you know what a water cooler is, Suave?
Yes, I have one at home.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not, it's great.
Do?
Yes.
Yeah, when you go home and find people standing around it talking about the NASCAR
you
race,
here. I
call
hope I locked
911 immediately.
I hope I locked my door. Jeez.
You know what? That's a hell. Come on. We got to invent where you can hire stand-ups to be around the water cooler, like you're having a conversation with people around the water cooler.
There are NASCAR driver cardboard cutouts that have been spotted on Roombas. Thank you, NASCAR Chasm. So yes, we can just get a stand-up Chase Elliott, a stand-up Kyle Busch, Oh yeah.
All right.
They're
So
talking around the water.
All right.
cooler.
Well, we're talking around the water cooler on MAV TV and YouTube and the Freak Radio Network right now. Daniel Suarez, 0.003 seconds. He had ahead of Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch. And Daniel Suarez, again in the Atlanta race on Sunday, Daniel Suarez says he saw Kyle Busch, but he didn't know about Ryan Blaney in that finish.
Definitely not. At that point, I was, just trying to time the side draft on the 8. I didn't know where the 12 was. I couldn't see the 12. And I thought that I had the 8. I knew it was close, but I had no idea about the 12. No idea. So, at that point, I was just hoping. I saw the tower, and I thought I was first. And they told me we got it, but then we're on the review and said, damn it. So yeah, it's quite every time that you get to win races is special, but to be able to win it in this fashion, this close with two other great drivers is quite special.
Daniel Suarez, your winner from Atlanta here in the Freak Nation, MAV TV and Lucas Oil Studios, talking about that last lap at Atlanta.
When we crossed the white flag, I knew we were going to have a good shot because the 2 car was behind me and he was giving me very, very good pushes. And I dragged the brake a little bit on corner 2. And I can see him coming with a push. And I say, okay, here he comes. And my move was going to come after that. But then he slowed down. And I was like, damn it. Like, obviously, he didn't want to help me because his teammate was on the lead. But at that point, the 23 pushed the 8. And the 8 was able to make the move. And I was able to side drive the 8. And that's when the 3 wide, got started. So it was a little crazy. Who knows what would have happened if the 2 was actually giving me the push. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they were going to pass me back, get exit of 4.
Statman, they're going 190 miles an hour, and he's talking like he's going through a school zone.
Yeah, well, it's different. I mean, these guys are driving, they drive at 190 miles an hour like we drive at 70. So it's nothing for them to talk about. Perfect example. I interviewed Rick Mears once about an accident that he had in Canada. Took him 5 minutes to explain what all was going through his head during the time, and the skid marks on the track showed it was about 3/4 of a second when he spun out and hit something. So these guys think about different stuff in the morning when they wake up.
Suarez was asked this. There were a lot of conversations about him trying to find another ride. Will he be in the same car next year at Trackhouse? Was this win good enough to save his ride?
I'm just glad we're here with my entire team. Trackhouse, Chevrolet, Freeway Insurance, Cesar over there, CEO of Freeway Insurance with his entire family. He's been in victory lane already twice in 1 month, so he's getting a spoil. And yeah, just very happy, very happy. Everyone in Trackhouse worked extremely hard in the off season, and to be able to start the 2024 season this strong, because last week in the Daytona 500 we finished 32nd or something like that, but we were running up front, and we wrecked running up front, and I feel like we have a strong team, and we're showing that so far in the couple of weeks that we've been racing. So we have to continue to build on that.
All right, we'll go ahead and start with Jordan, and then Steven, and then go.
Daniel Suarez, again, about trying to save his job with that win. He deflected it like a damn good NASCAR Cup Series driver. He deflected all of that. But here's a question that I'd like to resume. We're going to have Brittany Force on next segment. We'll move her to the last segment. But hearing a 10-year-old talk about a Mexican driver, being my daughter, and the importance of his win, and the questions that she asked about Mexicans running in NASCAR. I want to get to that. A 10-year-old asking dad some questions about Mexican drivers in NASCAR. It's worth a segment. That's next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Look, man, spring is right around the corner. Going to be a lot of wet weather coming our way again. Make sure you're rolling on a new set of General Tires. Go to generaltire.com. Check out their tires to keep your 4x4, your sports car, your family sedan snappy and happy on the road. Go to generaltire.com. A lot is made of when Bubba Wallace does well, wins races, of African Americans in motorsports winning and, again, doing well. And I kind of glossed over it unintentionally. And frankly, I'm disappointed in myself of the importance of Daniel Suarez win to the Latino, the Spanish community, to the Mexican community, and really what this does for that community. And if you go back and look at Daniel Suarez in the NASCAR Cup season or series, 2017 was his rookie season with Joe Gibbs. And the steps that he's made forward and backward are very well documented. But I think it shouldn't be lost on us, Stat, Crash, Suave, and yours truly, on the importance of a Mexican driver coming in here. Not a road course. You don't want to stereotype European or Latin or flanking Mexican drivers that they're only good on road courses. I'm not saying that. But for him to go in and go toe-to-toe with, again, two with the best, both champions, and win that race at not an easy track in Atlanta, yeah, he's a driver. The car doesn't know that he's from Mexico, but people outside that car know that he is from Mexico. And the importance, Crash, Stat, Suave, I want your take on this, the importance of Daniel Suarez to win that race. And the whole reason I'm having this conversation is because, Crash, you brought it up 20, 30 minutes ago. Our daughter is in a dual language school where half the day she's taught in Spanish and speaks Spanish, all the subjects. And she was asking those questions. Was he the first Mexican driver to win, or first Spanish driver to win? How many Spanish drivers have won? It's like,
how come there haven't been more?
Yeah. Hearing a 10-year-old ask those questions, like, duh, this light went off, Crash.
Yeah. And there have been more, as you know. Juan Pablo Montoya, he won 2 races in the Cup Series. He won 1 in the Xfinity Series. Daniel Suarez, this is his second win. Daniel Suarez still has a long way to go. So, yes, Daniel Suarez is changing the landscape. And I will say Juan Pablo Montoya did a lot of that as well. It was just a more difficult time when he was in stock cars, and he was in arguably I don't really want to use the word lesser, but he was in a less competitive car, shall we say, with Chip Ganassi racing.
The same team that Daniel Suarez's owner bought. Sorry.
But things have changed.
Yes.
Things have changed with the car, with just almost everything. But yes, it was extremely important to our daughter to see this today. It made an impact on her. And imagine it making an impact on a 10-year-old, have all the other kids and teenagers and 20-somethings and above, who else it is making an impact on. She asked why there haven't been more. And I said, well, NASCAR, quite frankly, has been trying to diversify their fan base, and they have to do that through the actual representation of drivers in the cockpit. They've been trying to diversify for almost 20 years. It has been a long road. It is finally coming to fruition. Still has a long way to go, but it's finally working, at least in my opinion.
You know, the best part about his win, that he won on a road course, 2 years ago at Sonoma, and now he won today on purpose. The race didn't end with him being in first place. He didn't win under a yellow flag. He won today, side drafting, coming from the pack. Everybody was looking at Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch, whether or not they were going to win. Suarez got to the outside, was pushed along, side drafted Kyle Busch, and won the race with skill. And that's what's going to be as valuable as anything in what happened today.
Mm-hmm.
He earned the win. He wasn't in first place when the race ended.
Yep.
Suave, does this resonate with the residentials?
I think so. I remember telling the story a couple when I came back from the Clash, where I was walking out of the LA Coliseum after he won the NASCAR Mexico race that night after the Cup Series Clash, right? and the roar from the crowd, from the people who stuck around while there was rain incoming for a NASCAR Mexico race that Daniel Suarez won was wild. It got really loud there. I was really surprised how loud that crowd got when Daniel Suarez got out of the car and said, "Hey, thanks everybody for coming." Remember back to when he won Sonoma, the reaction on social media was awesome and how much everybody loved it because he's a very, very likable driver.
Yes.
He's got a really fun personality. He's been able to show that off on a couple of these like docuseries that NASCAR has done. And this is one of my favorite wins in a long time. Like I was rooting for Daniel Suarez to win the race today, and I'm glad he did. And he talked a little bit about this in his post-race press conference as well, which is like, listen, it doesn't matter if I'm trying to save my seat or not. I'm here to win races. I'm not only here to win races, I'm here to win championships. Trackhouse is a team that was damn near won a championship a couple years ago with Ross Chastain. He's on the right team, and now he can focus on winning races because he doesn't have to care about racing for points. The pressure's off, and now I think Daniel Suarez is really poised to become a championship contender this year because now he can actually go for race wins instead of worrying about, oh, am I going to make the playoffs? Oh, I'm too nervous to make a move. And he showed today, and you mentioned it, Stan, man, his racecraft today was incredible. That is a winning driver's move that he made today. That wasn't a guy who was scared or who doesn't belong in the NASCAR Cup Series. An absolutely incredible race winning move by Daniel Suarez today.
You brought it up. He's in the playoffs, guys.
Yep.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations to Daniel Suarez on that. And Crasher, I got my first taste of fandom coming out of Mexico with his first name, Tecate Fernandez.
Adrian
Fernandez.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't a top-tier driver.
No, Adrian.
He was a good driver, but the popularity, again, with Tecate on the side of his champ car, what was he driving?
That was in the kart series.
Yeah, the kart series.
Mm-hmm. In the 90s.
And he had his following, his Mexican following. Listen, say what you will. There's an audience south of this border that is craving for someone to succeed of their ilk, of their kind in a born and bred American sport. It's happened in baseball. It's happened in basketball. Are you kidding me? NASCAR? If Daniel Suarez could go out there, he's in the playoffs more than likely.
No, he's
well, yeah.
The random chance that we have a gazillion winners again this year. What if he makes the Final Four? That will be nuts at the finale in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And in fact, it'll be nuts if both he and Darrell Wallace both make the playoffs, and there'll be a lot of guys on the grid who say, "What are they doing there? They shouldn't be." But if
Bubba's the only driver with back-to-back top fives in the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, he somehow he works well in pack racing and speed, super speedways, plate races, and you're right. He was there. He was there most of the day. At one point, after he got out of sync with some pit stops, he fell back to like 17th. But at the end, he worked his way back up to 5th, and he was competing. And that's all you could ask from anybody.
You know what? That was a fun thing about today's race. Some people are going to complain about how many yellows there were. Whatever. Do your complaining elsewhere. Watching drivers like Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell come from far back because of pit violations, speed violations, just mechanicals, whatever. Daniel Suarez, for crying out loud.
Right.
In the second lap crash and then going on to the win. Watching drivers come from the back to the front today was fun. And you don't always get to see that. So being able to watch that today, it was just a whole other element. It was awesome.
So the fact that Daniel Suarez representing a country that, again, I'm not going to get into a rabbit hole that has been in the news as of late for many, many years, for something like Daniel Suarez to hop out of that freaking race car as a representative of Mexico to not just win. More pressure to beat Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney coming around turn 4 at Atlanta at 190 miles an hour, talking about looking left, looking right. I saw Kyle Busch, didn't see Ryan Blaney. It's just greatness. And we witnessed it on Sunday at Atlanta.
Everyone watching that race, just the earth had to have shaken off its axis just a little bit, because everyone watching that race was screaming at the top of their lungs from turn 4 to the finish line. I know I was.
Speaking of screaming, we had a chance to catch up with the Force family, Brittany Force and John Force. And Brittany Force is going to be first up for us coming up next segment. 2 Top Fuel championships. She is angry. She wants to get back on her winning ways. And she'll join us next. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up for one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
A healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
It's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough: our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We're told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful anti-aging supplements on earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code FIT or text FIT to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text FIT to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Nation, we thought the NHRA was not coming back to Phoenix. It was Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park, and then Firebird came back. Firebird Motorsports Park is what it's called. It was originally called Firebird. Now, dang it, it's back. And the NHRA will be running out in Phoenix in April. The Forces came into town to promote the race and talk about a number of things. We caught up with Brittany Force, two-time NHRA top fueler. First, she's got a lot to say, including it being on the heels of Women in Motorsports Month coming up. Brittany Force here in the Freak Nation. Brittany, is it odd that I told your dad not to come over here and be a part of this interview because we want to talk to you, the most recent world champion when it comes to drag racing?
Thank you. First of all, I appreciate that, but I'll tell you right now, his feelings are really hurt. I don't know where he's going, but he has his glasses on, so you can't see, but he might be offended.
We know a little bit about John, and I'm having a little bit of fun here, but he gets emotional, not just what we see on camera, but he can get emotional and maybe feelings hurt or riled up that maybe some people don't see off camera. Some of that's real.
Yeah, he's a roller coaster of emotions, whether he's spun up about something or he's in the heat of battle or he's upset with me and we're arguing. There's always something, but it is a roller coaster with him. We just flew out this morning and we've been all over the place.
One thing that we're focusing on for March is Women in Motorsports Month on MAV TV, and you're part of the conversation, kicking ass in the top fuel NHRA dragster and beating the bejesus out of dudes who wear pants. And the significance of women kicking ass in motorsports isn't lost on us. Do you still feel like you're carrying somewhat of a torch when you're out there in the race car for women in racing?
Absolutely. That's a role of mine. I've always, that's been important to me, being a role model for this younger generation or, girls my age or whoever. But definitely it's been something that's always been important to me. I know we didn't have a great season last year, but I've been successful throughout my career, and I know we'll turn things around this year. But again, when I'm out at the ropes and fans come up, it's always, younger girls or girls that drive junior dragsters or super comp, and they look up to me, and that is a win right there in itself.
That's true. You get past that rope, and I can only imagine an 8-9-year-old girl coming up to you, and you're like, oh, my engine's going to run. Am I going to qualify? And it's like, well, hold on, I got to connect with this little girl because she's going to remember this 30, 40 years from now when she met Brittany Force. So you've got to be cognizant of what this means to her.
Yes, I always am, and that's something my dad taught me, not just from, conversations and telling me and teaching me, but just witnessing him and watching him with the fans. Mm-hmm. The reason he has so many fans around him is because, first of all, his passion, his love for the sport, they could see it, and how great he is in the sport, but also the time that he spends with the fans. He's out there, he'll spend hours with the fans, signing autographs, taking pictures. He goes beyond for his fans, and I've seen that since I was a little kid, coming to the drag races. So that always influenced me, and that again goes in that same role of being a role model for this younger group that comes up, and making sure I'm out there with the young kids or adults, whoever it is, signing. But it's also because I wouldn't be able to do what I love if it weren't for these fans.
Janet Guthrie, Shirley Muldowney, Lynn St. James, were there women in motorsports or sports that Brittany Force looked up to?
Yeah, I have to go with my sister. I looked up to both of my sisters, my younger sister Courtney and my older sister Ashley. It was when I saw Ashley get into a super comp car, a field dragster, and then a funny car, where I kind of looked and thought, hey, I want to do that. When I was a kid, it was mostly all male out there. There were a few females, and it was, I remember Shelly Anderson, and I remember looking up to her. I didn't care who was in the lane next to her. She drove that pink car. She was a girl. I wanted her to win. So after that, it was definitely watching Ashley come up into the ranks, move into funny car, and it was, wow, I can't believe she's racing against my dad. And it kind of opened my eyes to that any girl can do this job be in this career, or not just in motorsports, but in any position anywhere. And it was really watching her that gave me that push to go after what I wanted.
I didn't know where your love for racing came from. Clearly, you're the daughter of John Force, and you sat there and you watched races, but it was not until your sisters got in the cockpit that you thought that you could actually get behind the wheel as well.
I always loved the sport of NHRA drag racing. I loved coming as a kid. I knew I would be involved in the sport somehow, but it didn't really open my eyes to driving the car until I saw Ashley do it. And that's where I thought, oh, okay. I mean, when you look up to your older sister, you want to do everything she does. You want to dress the way she does. You want to do your hair the way she does. She's driving a race car. Okay, I think I want to do that next. It's just that younger sister, thing that you chase. You want to be your older sister. So, watching her get into the seat and be successful. And again, she started at Super Comp and then moved to A-Fuel and Funny Car. I followed in those footsteps, ultimately behind my dad, but definitely Ashley was the big factor in all that.
I also loved how you went into the rail, not into the Funny Car in the pro ranks. And why was that decision?
I drove Super Comp and A-Fuel, so I was used to driving top field dragsters. I've been licensed in a Funny Car, not my favorite. I mean, if it came down to driving or not driving, yes, I would drive a Funny Car, but those things are freaking nuts. I'm not a fan. I think Funny Car drivers are crazy. I like my dragsters. They're the longer wheelbase. They go pretty dang straight. You're not steering them all over the racetrack. But honestly, I feel like I would hurt myself in a Funny Car. They are terrifying, so good luck to Austin this year. I'm left alone in top fuel.
Yeah, seriously. All right, you've had a massive shakeup in life in this off season. I'm so excited for you. You are engaged. Now, how is that going to be mentally? I'm assuming probably not any different because he was with you, these last couple years and watching you in racing. But now you have something to plan. Do you have good people around you to plan this damn wedding?
I'm going to have to find some help because I'm very much a planner. I like to be organized, but when it comes to wedding stuff, I don't have a clue where to begin. Most of my girlfriends, don't you have a Pinterest account with like all your dresses that? I'm like, no, I've never looked at wedding dresses. No, I've never looked at venues. No, I don't have anything mapped out because I was not engaged until this point. So there's a lot ahead. We don't want anything big. We want to keep it as small as we can and as easy as we can.
Have you had discussions with other women in motorsports, in drag racing in particular? Let me just keep it at that, because Leah Pruitt led a pretty significant statement out at PRI talking about how she believes NHRA should look into changing how the points stay with the driver, with the car, in case a woman does get pregnant and has to suddenly leave her season. Do you have thoughts on that matter, on maybe talking with the NHRA and improving this for you guys moving forward?
It's definitely something I've thought about, but it would have to be a decision for me, looking at what I would be comfortable with. It'd be a decision for me if down the road I decide, I'm married and I want to have kids, I will have to step out of the seat, remove myself completely from the situation because, yes, points go with the driver. So if you're mid-season, I wouldn't want to let my team down in that way. So, following NHRA's rules and points and how they do everything, you would have to step it out. So for me, it would have to be a decision I made before the season even starts.
All right, we talked to Ron Capps. He said he's going to this concert at Firebird. What are your Saturday nights like at a racetrack? Do you feel comfortable and having fun and heading out to a concert, maybe introducing a band on stage or something like you may be asked to do at Firebird?
I will definitely go check it out. I'll meet Ron. We'll head over there and go check it out. But I'm also, like I said, I'm very routine. Saturday night, it's race day the next morning. So I want to get, back early and get good sleep and get prepared for the next day.
I know Brittany Force, though, and Brittany Force is typically wearing that yellow hat come Saturday. So get on over there and have some fun for a little bit. You deserve it. You earned it.
Thank you. My team and we've always been really close. We try to go find things to do when we come into town, whether before the weekend starts or after the weekend. But Brainerd is one where we go check out the zoo. So this might have to be one where we go check out the concert.
Listen, your old man's right here. Ron Capps is right here. SpeedFreaks have been doing this for 23 years. To hear you, I got to focus Saturday night. I got to get some good sleep. Got to be in shape to race the next day. I mean, Ron and John, I never heard them say that 20 years ago, but I got to get some good sleep. Got to make sure I hydrate before I get in a race car the next day. It's where we are now with racing, isn't it?
If I did half of what they did years ago, I would have been fired long ago. I don't know how they got away with the things that they did Saturday night, Sunday morning. It's definitely a different world we live in now.
Do you remember coming to Firebird as a kid, rolling around in here? I'm in Phoenix. It's supposed to, where's the desert? Where are the cactus?
Yeah, this was a track my sisters and I always came to. I raced Super Comp here. I raced A-Fuel here, so very familiar with this track.
And it's kind of a psych. Hey, we're coming back. It's you can't leave Arizona out of drag racing, the history of this state, and in particular this track, with the NHRA.
I know. I was, end of last season, when we were here, and signing shirts, and they were the final, you're seeing the racetrack go away. It was really sad. So I'm happy we're returning. I'm happy we're coming back. We need to be here. We need to be in this area.
Again, her name is Brittany Force, back in Arizona, coming up in April. Good to have NHRA. Again, they never left, but back here in Arizona. Coming up in the second hour, Noah Gragson will be here in the Freak Nation. Chase Elliott and Connor Zilisch. Big second hour coming up. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
You take car maintenance seriously, and you want to pass on that legacy of care. Use Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer to shield your engine from excessive heat, debris, and friction. Trust Lucas Oil. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
At Lucas Oil, we take pride in creating problem-solving products to make your car care easier. We protect your vehicle and make it run longer so you can focus on the things that matter most. Lucas Oil, it works.
A healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
It's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough: our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We are told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful anti-aging supplements on earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code FIT or text FIT to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text FIT to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined. Broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios.
Driven by General Tire.
It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
And Statman.
I am serious.
Here's the Freaks.
Second hour of the Freaks. Noah Gragson on the Redemption Tour, driving for Stuart Haas Racing. He'll be here in the Freak Nation. Chase Elliott, you'll hear an interview with him. And again, I'm going to ask a question that's going to aggravate a lot of Chase Elliott fans out there, but I'm not going to ask that question just yet. Connor Zilisch, 17-year-old, flag to flag, your TA2 winner. That's Trans Am. They kicked off this weekend at Sebring. He won on Saturday, flagged 17 years old. Running for Silver Hair Racing in the Trans Am Series and signed with Trackhouse Racing to run some possible Xfinity Series races, truck races, and others for Trackhouse Racing. Daniel Suarez with the big win. We'll get to that coming up in moments, but be sure you follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, where we give the elongated versions of a lot of these interviews that we have. That finish at Atlanta, 0.009 or 003, Suave?
0.003 seconds.
Yep. It wasn't the closest in history, but Daniel Suarez, your winner, holy smokes, he didn't know where the hell the 12
Definitely
was.
not. At that point, I was, just trying to time the side draft on the 8. I didn't know where the 12 was. I couldn't see the 12. And I thought that I had the 8. I knew it was close, but I had no idea about the 12. No idea. So, at that point, I was just hoping. I saw the tower, and I thought I was first. And they told me we got it, but then we're on the review and said, damn it. So yeah, it's quite every time that you get to win races is special, but to be able to win it in this fashion, this close, with two other great drivers is quite special.
That's exactly what Statman was talking about. And there, Suarez is basically saying, yeah, you're right, Statman. This was a legit, amazing win.
Yeah, he drove to that win and didn't wait for somebody to break or come around the corner and said, hey, I won. He drove to the win and deserved it. I thought when I first saw it, I thought Ryan Blaney won the race. But when I saw the replay, it's like, oops, there it is.
Okay, give me a second here. Look at this guy. Look at Daniel Suarez. If you don't think he would be a fantastic representative for a champion for NASCAR, then leave. Watch this smile. Watch his jubilation. The guy knows where he is and how fortunate he is to be sitting in a stock car with the big boys. All right, come on, Suarez.
Definitely not. At that point, I was, just trying to time the side draft on the 8. I didn't know where the 12 was. I couldn't see the 12. And I thought that I had the 8. I knew it was close, but I had no idea about the 12. No idea. So, at that point, I was just hoping. I saw the tower, and I thought I was first. And they told me we got it, but then we're on the review and said, damn it. So
look at that laugh. Look at that smile. Yet here is, I'm going early on this, Richie. I'm sorry. I'm going early. Here is your most popular driver for many, many years. Who do you want representing your series?
It was unrelated. It was actually a really old injury I'd had. My shoulders bothered me for years, so probably about 10 years. That answers that question.
Okay, that wasn't horrible, but I see what you're getting at.
Chase Elliott, about to fire him up. Do you and the Hendrick drivers, Kyle Larson and others, do you guys talk a lot of trash? You guys are young dudes, man, getting after each other. I'm going to go out and win this race. Little did I know.
I don't think any of us really trash talk at all, to be honest, amongst our group. I mean, we're all pretty straightforward, and we just want to.
Really? Really?
There is your most popular. What do you? I have nothing against Chase Elliott. Nothing against the guy. But I think he's got as much personality as a tied shoe, not an untied shoe, but as a tied shoe.
Oh,
like it's tied. So there's some life
because
to
an
it.
untied shoe, the laces are just like phalanging through the air, and but that's personality. If you're phalanging,
No, it's not. That's not what I meant by it, Crash.
I know. But,
I'm comparing him to a shoe.
Right.
Chase Elliott. Stein. Well, but your pit crew, right? Your pit crew. Those guys are talking trash with other pit crews, right? Right, Chase Elliott? Most popular driver of NASCAR, right?
I really don't think so. I think we're just trying to win.
Oh, wow.
You know what soundbite I need there? Mm-hmm.
Quick, what's the movie?
Sling Blade.
Yeah, there you go.
But Chase, your pit crew, you've got athletes, you got former college football stars. You guys
Wait, real quick. Kudos to Fox for pointing that out this year. They're making a genuine effort to point out all the pasts of the crew members and what football teams, basketball teams, whatever they play for.
I don't care.
I just wanted to give props.
Great, fantastic. You're disturbing my flow.
Right, I get it.
You've got college football players, nose to nose, grunt to grunt, sweat to sweat, face to face, grill to grill. Coaches are mother effing this and mother effing this and a-hole in this. They're players. Yet, Chase Elliott, your crew, your pit crew, they go after each other, right?
I really don't think so. I think we're just trying to win.
How is he? What? He's most popular. Is that what people see? At least Dale Earnhardt, when he was kicking ass with most popular driver, he would say things that weren't necessarily to NASCAR's liking and to some fans' liking. Granted, Dale Earnhardt Jr. could look a fan in the face and say, your breath stinks and you drive a crappy car. They go, I love you, Dale.
True.
But Chase, brah, that shoulder injury you had, that off season, didn't that fire you up, buddy?
It was unrelated. It was actually a really old injury I'd had. My shoulders bothered me for years, so probably about 10 years. That answers that question.
Yeah, duh.
Richie, come on, my millennial, help me out here, bro.
I don't get it, but here's the I don't like Chase Elliott personally. He's boring, like you just said. But here's the thing about Chase Elliott: go to any race, and he gets some of the loudest cheers.
Yep.
Remember going back to when he won the championship? This was during the COVID era, so I don't think any of us were actually there at the racetrack for when he won. But he sells, for whatever reason, he freaking sells T-shirts. He sells hats. He sells merchandise, and he is the most popular driver for a reason. He connects to a lot of people.
Yeah, Richie.
I don't know.
How did he connect?
I don't know his last name.
But how did Bill do it? I mean, Bill was a nice guy too, but also kind of mundane.
I mean, go back to Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in the day when you guys had him on in the early 2000s. There's an interview that's on our YouTube channel of Kenny, you talking to Dale Earnhardt Jr. and it is the most boring interview in the history of mankind, right? Like he was very shy in the media, but he was the most popular driver for a decade. Why? His last name. And maybe that's the exact same with Chase Elliott. He sells, but it's just because of his last name, not his personality, which is insane.
It is insane. Yes, but going back to where you started with all this, Kenny, Suarez would be a much better champion representative of NASCAR than Chase Elliott.
The Dallas Cowboys have not won a championship since Richie's been out of diapers.
It's true.
Yet they are the most popular NFL team on the planet. If the Cowboys had the personality of the Cardinals, if the Cowboys had the personality of Chase Elliott, they would not be that popular. I don't get it. It's not. You're driving a race car 200 miles an hour. Don't you want a fired up Tony Stewart, something of that nature? A Jimmy Johnson, who people call vanilla, a Joey Logano, sliced white bread. Chase Elliott, he's flaccid water. He doesn't do anything.
What? He's what?
He's flaccid water, the greatest water to ever ski on. You get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you want flaccid water. You don't want any wave.
Water skiing.
Yes.
But will you agree with this though? Kenny? all jokes aside, NASCAR needs him to succeed because he's so popular, right?
No.
Because it's in every other sport. Like,
why?
More people watch the NBA when the Lakers succeed. More people watch the NFL when the Cowboys succeed. Because most popular teams sell. That's why people tune in to watch those teams, because they're the most popular.
Richie, you were at that press conference at Phoenix with Phelps, O'Donnell, and everybody else, and they kept talking about personalities. No rivalries. That's the perfect drop right there. There's no rivalries. I see what you wanted to
I wish you were right, and I wish personality would sell more NASCAR. That's what attracts all four of us to rooting for people. But in the case of Chase Elliott, like, he's the one that sells, so you have to do your best and go along with it for the most part. It's like, tough crap. Sorry, that's what people tune in to watch. That's who people root for, and that's what we're stuck with. And it sucks. It's unfortunate. But
I still don't get it, though.
Your crews go after each other, right? Final race of the season in Phoenix.
I really don't think so. I think we're just trying to win.
Isn't that what everyone's doing? Trying to win.
All right. Sorry. 17-year-old
race to win the race.
Yep. All right. 17-year-old Connor Zilisch. He's a badass. He's going to be winning championships, many more championships than Chase Elliott.
He's got a better personality.
He joins us next. SpeedFreaks Smith, Lucas Olson.
SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
One of the main reasons for poor vehicle performance is a dirty fuel system. It can cause decreased fuel economy and actually do harm to your engine over time. By adding Lucas fuel treatment to your vehicle, it cleans and lubricates the entire fuel system. Pump, carburetors, fuel injectors, and valves as you drive. It also improves your vehicle's performance. It's a non-solvent product designed to protect both gasoline and diesel engines. Lucas Fuel Treatment. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now. Let's go! Yeah! For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
You're listening to SpeedFreaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, this guy's a badass. Connor Zilisch, 17 years old. Flag to flag as the Trans Am Series kicked off this week in the Sebring. He won the TA2 race on Saturday, which, again, you could see on MAB TV all year, your Trans Am coverage. Connor Zilisch, love this guy. He's fantastic. Going to be winning championships, the NASCAR Cup Series for years to come. That's all now. SpeedFreaks Pits and the Lucas Oil Studio. Freak Nation, last time we talked to this guy, he was 17. He's still 17. Connor Zilisch, wire to wire, kicking off the TA2 season, the Trans Am 2 season, and a Sebring joining us again here in the Freak Nation. And I'm sorry, brother. I'm reading these stats once again for you running with Silver Hair Racing in that Chevy Camaro. And this is bonkers stuff that 17-year-olds could only dream of with what you're doing. Are you a great freaking road racing driver, Connor Zilisch?
I don't know. I don't like tooting my own horn, but I feel like I've gotten good at it the last few years, racing, every weekend it feels like on a road course, and, just getting better every time I get in the car. And, at this point, I feel like I'm pretty comfortable driving on a road course, but, I see a lot more ovals in my future. So hopefully that will stay a thing in the NASCAR series. But, I do feel comfortable on road courses.
Connor Zilisch joining us here in the Freak Nation. Trans Am kicked off this weekend in Sebring, which, of course, you could see the Trans Am Series all on MAB TV and MAB TV Select. And Connor winning wire to wire, most wins last year in the TA2 class. And I hear from drivers quite often, not even in the series, talking about how they would rather run in the TA2 class than the big boy class because of how many cars there are and, frankly, the talent in that class. Are you hearing that from other drivers in other series?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree that the talent and competition level in the TA2 class is quite a bit higher than the TA class. It was a lot of fun running the TA car, and that car is definitely a hoot to drive. But, TA2 is where, the teams and the competition is really picking up and has picked up the last few years with it becoming a pretty big series at this point. So, yeah, racing in the TA2 class has been, a lot of fun, and it's always a competition, and it's never easy to win those races. So, as easy it may have looked this weekend, leading every lap and going wire to wire, it was stressful for me. And, it's not easy beating those guys like Rafa. He's been an IndyCar driver, won the Rolex 24, and, these guys are no slouches. So, yeah, it's definitely not easy, and people know that.
What was stressful? Can you go through that for us? Because like you just said, I believe it's been 3 of your last 4 races. You've led the field to the green, of course, from the pole, and then led the entire race. So what is stressful for you with these guys chomping at you from behind?
Yeah, that race this race at Sebring this past weekend, it was pretty stressful. I would, caution would come out, and drive being in a restart when there's 37 cars behind you and everyone wants to win just as bad as you do. It gets stressful, but those guys they put the pressure on me and did everything they could. I just had a really fast car, and my Silver Hair team has worked really hard, and we've shown that we've improved a bunch in the last 2 years that I've been with them. But those guys, when you're running and you're leading by a second and a half, it doesn't take many mistakes for them to catch back up to you. So just the idea of being perfect is not easy to do when you're racing those cars that are slipping around, and it's definitely difficult at times, but you just got to stay patient, maintain composure, and you'll be good.
Crasher, hold on just a second. Do you think at 27, when you've won your 3rd Cup championship, Connor, you'll have such humility? Because you're a humble dude. You're a badass freaking driver. You're beating the pants off of dudes that have won many races, bro.
Yeah, I plan on staying the same. A lot of people have told me not to change, so I guess it's gotten me this far.
Well, I find it interesting. You referenced the word perfect in your last answer. Are you a perfectionist, and does that hinder you sometimes?
Sometimes I feel like I do try to be perfect, and everybody does, but I also have learned that I do make mistakes and I do mess up from time to time, and that's going to happen, and it happens a lot, probably more than it should for me, but I'm still young and have a lot of learning to do. So I've kind of learned to deal with my mistakes and, let them go, learn from them, and don't make them twice is the biggest thing.
Boom.
When you're making mistakes, you can make it once, but if you make it again, then that's where you messed up. So, kind of learning that and understanding that I'm not going to be perfect has not been the easiest thing for me. And I've definitely been mad a few times, but, that's how it goes.
Connor Zilisch, TA2 winner at Sebring. Your teammate, Daniel Suarez, won Atlanta today. What are you guys at Trackhouse putting in your Wheaties in the morning? You guys are beating everybody all the time and think nothing of it.
Yeah, it's quite something that Justin Marks and Ty Norris and everyone at Trackhouse is building. It's cool having drivers around you that, in a sense we're competing against each other, but we all want each other to do better, and we all want each other to win and want the organization to do well. So it's been really cool being a part of it, and having Ross, Daniel, SVG, Zane, and just being able to learn more about them and learn from them. And there's a lot that I can learn from all those guys. SVG and we talked a bunch at Daytona last weekend. We both weren't racing in the Cup race, but he's a really good guy, and he's got quite the story, and he's an older kind of guy trying to get into the Cup Series, and it's kind of cool hearing it from his perspective versus mine. I'm 17 and trying to get into the Cup Series at a younger age, but he's still just as open-minded as I am, and he's got just as much to learn as I do too. So kind of having that same background as him has been really cool, and really cool to see Daniel win this week. He's been working hard at it, and all those guys have been working hard at it. So good for them.
Hold on just a second, Stat Man. Are you a Daniel's amigo? Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I am. I am. I like Daniel. Daniel's a good dude. He's always been a good friend to me, and I've appreciated all that. Ross and Daniel, the advice that they give, and just having them as friends is
all
really
right.
cool.
Wait a minute, Connor. I'm stepping on you here for a reason.
Oh boy.
You said advice that they give. Give me one thing. One thing that they have helped you with. It seems you win every time you get behind the wheel. Seems like you ought to be giving them some advice.
No. Ross is he's a really good dude, and I've kind of watched races where we work out in the gym together, and there's always a NASCAR race on the TV, and one time someone made a not so smart move, and he just kind of walks me through the process of sometimes it's better to not be dumb and just accept what you have and where you are, and that's kind of something that I struggled with.
That's come from Ross Chastain.
It is, believe it or not. But I mean, when you don't have the best equipment and your car's not very good, and you're not going to win the race, there's no point in going out there and trying to win the race when you can't. So that's kind of the moral of the story that I heard from him, and he might have not even been talking to me directly. I think we were in a group, but just the concept of that stuff, and just having those guys to lean on and learn from is pretty awesome. And we're all open book and want to learn from each other, and that's one cool thing about those guys.
All right, this is completely off the wall, but I just kind of wonder, has Ross Chastain taught you how to throw the watermelons yet?
No, I that's one thing. Daniel has his pinata and Ross has a watermelon. I need to find something that I can throw or do something with. I mean, I don't have a background that cool, but I'm gonna have to figure out something.
At 17, you got to have something that you've done that in high school that, I don't know, maybe
I don't go to high school. I don't go to high school.
Right.
Well, that's something you read in a book. You read a book, haven't you? It's something you read in a book that you can throw out there.
You're talking to the wrong guy. Reading books.
You haven't read a book? Come on.
I've read a book. My dad makes fun of me for this all the time, and I know he's going to watch this. So,
you have a superhero? You have a superhero that you when you were a kid that you followed?
I always like Superman, but what am I going to do with Superman?
Yeah, right.
Well, instead of going into a phone booth that he used to do when I was your age, you could come out of the car and have a cape on, and you'd switch from Connor Zilisch to Super Connor.
Maybe maybe when you see me win in a NASCAR race in the future, maybe you'll see that. We'll have to figure that one out.
There you go.
Is there a red-headed superhero out there that you could emulate?
I don't know. Maybe I could do like a Irish jig or something, like a little Irish dance. But I don't got anything. I don't got anything like a watermelon or a piñata that I could throw. I need to find something.
All right. Well, we don't have enough time to figure this thing out.
We'll keep figuring it out.
This is awesome. Well, buddy, we are extremely proud of what you're doing. We know you're on the road to greatness, and just keep at it, man. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers. For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 products, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it? Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
This segment brought to you by our good friends at Lucas Oil. I could talk about products from Lucas Oil for 2 hours in Freak Nation, but let me do you a favor. Go to lucasoil.com. You can check out items that'll keep your inside your engine snappy and happy. Inside your car, same thing. Don't believe me? Go to lucasoil.com. Proud partners of the Freaks for many, many years. That's why we call them the Lucas Oil Studios. Noah Gragson. Each time he's come on the Freak Nation, got to be honest, Crash and I've talked about this, it's pretty much the vibe of the guy feels like he doesn't want to be interviewed, doesn't want to be in here. Then his attitude finally caught up with him when I want to get the correct explanation here, where Noah Gragson, again, we're talking about a dude who was driving for Dale Jr. and then Jimmy Johnson with a Legacy Motorsports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Motorsports?
Motor Club.
Now it's Legacy Motor Club.
Yep. But he was suspended from NASCAR for what they called member conduct violation related to his activities on social media. Then Legacy Motor Club suspended him, parting ways with Gragson after 22 race stint last year. NASCAR brought him back in September 12th after a number of meetings and appointments that he made throughout his suspension. I caught up with him during the Daytona 500 media days. Both of us were suffering from runny noses and runny eyes. We're 60 seconds. We're just shooting the bull, but then we get into serious conversation about what he's gone through, what he's been doing to be a part of this redemption tour for Noah Gragson, as he's now running for Stewart-Haas Racing. He still seems like he doesn't want to be there the entire time, but I could see that he knows he's fortunate to be back in Cup and running for the legend of Tony Stewart. Noah Gragson here in the Freak Nation. Noah Gragson here in the Freak Nation. You got allergies too?
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, my left eye will not stop watering. Is it Daytona? What the hell is the problem?
I'm allergic to cats too, and I was in a buddy's hanging out last night, motorhome, and they have a cat, and my eyes are super itchy. And I think allergies, runny nose, you know how it goes.
Hey, man, watching you over there with the media, it's a different Noah that we're used to, where you're not trying to get out of here. You're starting from a different level of personality with racing and repairing things. Is it uncomfortable for you now, or is it like, I'm going to face this thing and let's get after it?
No, you take every opportunity by the horns and just trying to make the most of it. And there's no hiding. It's all about taking initiative and accountability and trying to be better than we were yesterday. And I've done a lot of self-reflecting over the past handful of months, and I've become a lot more open-minded and really have found my process. And so it's a privilege to be here. I'm incredibly grateful to be able to step foot back in a race suit, step foot on the property here at Daytona, and it's special to be back here.
If someone came up to me and said, Kenny, you've got to step away from SpeedFreaks. Well, I've been doing this for 24 years, but you did something or said something that offended somebody. I would take it personal, and then you're right, reflection comes. And then leaning on people to how do I get back in that seat of doing it? Who are some people that you leaned on to find that direction and to build a better Noah Gragson?
There's been several people, and there's been a lot of private calls, and I don't know how much they want me to, but there's been a lot of outreach from different drivers, different people in the industry that I've leaned on, and then also my close peers as well. So they've been a big support for me, and then working with NASCAR, all the folks at NASCAR, and then the folks from Rise. It's been great to go through that training and just become open-minded. I've learned more about myself in the last 6 months and about others than I have my whole life. And it's there's challenges, there's adversity, but it's been very impactful to me, and it's all about moving forward and becoming better.
I don't know if you could be with a better team and a better PR agency. Mike Arning with True Speed, I've known him for 20 plus years. Tony Stewart, same. Those two dudes and their companies have been through adversity. I mean, they've got a resume of things they've waded through, which I think would be the most important thing for you to join a team like that they can, as long as you listen, right?
Yeah, it's a great organization. There's a lot of great people, so we're excited about the opportunity that presents itself.
Haven't spent a whole lot of time in the car. We're here at Daytona. Now you got to figure this thing out and to be competitive. How different is it for you now versus when you were running with another team as far as working with the crew, your mentality, your relationships coming in prior to the 500?
Just try and keep on building those relationships. Relationships are a big part of this racing world and communication, and just trying to become better with that each and every day is one of the main focuses right now.
One of the things Tony Stewart struggled with initially, he told us, that was communicating to my crew chief, to his crew chief, or to the crew, talking their language, and it got better as he got older. Where do you feel about being able to communicate how the car is doing, how the track, the weather, how everything's making the adjustments to the car?
I feel comfortable with it. I feel like the investment of time is the biggest part in building a relationship, and when we're doing that right now, whether it be going to lunch or calling each other, going down the road, or spending time with each other at the shop, every little bit matters.
Do you have a relationship with your crew to where you feel it's 2 o'clock in the morning, something comes to mind like, oh man, I know what we can work on moving to Atlanta or to Phoenix? Do you have that type of relationship with them?
Yeah, of course.
Really? You call them 2 o'clock, hey, it's Noah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Probably won't answer, but you fire them off a text. I have that relationship with anyone where I never really felt shy about contacting them whenever it's on my mind. I don't want to forget it.
Yeah, you're not a wallflower. You don't sit back in there and let things come to you. You'll jump out at it, won't you?
Yeah.
Let me get back to this. Hold on just a second. One of the visits that he made during his suspension was he took a trip, Statman, to the International Civil Rights Center and Museum in Greensboro, North Carolina. The building was formerly the Woolworths retail store where 4 students from North Carolina A&T University participated in the nonviolent sit-in protest in a whites-only lunch counter in 1960. Frankly, I think that ought to be something that, regardless of our propensity to like certain items on social media, all of us should visit, Statman.
Yeah, he obviously didn't have a lot of comfort in talking about himself, the questions that you were asking. And that's something he's going to have to learn how to do, because he was suspended for a long while. And that's going to be the story of his career until he does something to supplant it. So I hope Mike Arning, who does the PR for Stewart Haas Racing, I hope he could pull him aside and said, if he hasn't already, said, hey, dude, we got to overcome this. People want to talk to you, and you got to figure out a way to answer them.
Yeah, it was still a bit of an uncomfortable interview. He didn't fully seem like he wanted to be there, but he knew he had to be there. You were trying, Kenny. Mm-hmm. He was just, meh. But it also goes back to the personality conversation that we've been having throughout this show. He's definitely not a Daniel Suarez, but he actually makes Chase Elliott look a little bit better now in that most popular driver category. So I don't know what to say about this. Noah Gragson, he's not a good interview. Can he be? Sure, but he needs to want to be. And I don't know if that's necessarily there. He wants to be a better person. I can kind of see through to believe that. But does he want to be a better interview? I don't think he really does.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not sure if he does, or if that's certainly. You know what? Good for him if that's not the priority. The priority is to get things right. For what he's flat out said was just his ignorance.
There you go.
Idiocy and ignorance. Just get it right. Don't worry about a-holes like me trying to pry into his life. Stand up, go win some freaking races on this redemption tour. And you're right, Statman, lean on Mike Arning and that whole group. You talk about a group that's been through the ringer and then some. That's Tony Stewart, and Mike Arning learned a few things. My goodness. Crasher, I want to talk about this, how Formula One is aggravating some folks at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You want to talk about that next?
Sure.
So much so that Indianapolis Motor Speedway says they've had enough. What have they had enough of? We'll get to that. It's good. I'm going to get after Formula One. I'm all about it.
Oh, jeez.
Round 1 next week, baby.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really, it's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
The weekend racing is over, or is it?
Not on MAP TV. Monday is All-American Racing Night on the network which never leaves the track. Sit back and enjoy grassroots red, white, and blue racing from America's most iconic tracks. Whether it's the precise lines of pavement ovals or the door-banging action of the dirt, MAP TV's Monday night lineup will bring you all the action from this country's legendary four-wheel battlegrounds. Monday night is All-American Racing, only on MAP TV, Motorsports Network.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive style. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
A healthy weight, more energy, and smooth, regular bowel movements. 3 things everyone strives for.
That's me, Chuck Norris. There's one really important thing we don't talk about enough: our health. Achy joints, digestive issues, weight gain, and fatigue. We're told these are normal signs of aging. So working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick is a revolutionary formula combining 10 different supplements in one. Probiotics that help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and several of the most powerful anti-aging supplements on earth. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, focused, and help manage stress.
Anybody can achieve great health regardless of their age.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com. Use code FIT or text FIT to 511-511 and claim 40% off today.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee.
Text FIT to 511-511. Morning Kick. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Freak Nation, follow us on Twitter if you want to win a set of General Tires, because every week prior to the NASCAR Cup race, the majority of the time, sometimes it's IndyCar and every now and then it's NHRA, we do Beat the Freaks. We ask you to submit 3 drivers, and if your 3 drivers collectively beat our 3 drivers that we choose to win that race, then you take home a set of General Tires. That's if we choose you. And we've got a whole hell of a lot of folks that jump in on this prior to each Cup race. So be sure to follow us on Twitter. And when you do that, hashtag SpeedFreaksGT and Beat the Freaks. And you will be eligible to win a set of General Tires. Richie, at first blush, how did we fare this weekend? Any idea, my friend?
Got to run the numbers through my computational device coming up later this week, and I will get back to you on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a while. We have to. Everything's got to be verified.
Computational device.
Yeah, this was the.
Did
this
you
was
really say that, Richie?
Yeah. This was the 3rd closest finish in NASCAR history, so we have to take our time, and we'll get you the numbers later this week and see if somebody's taking home some General Tires. Yeah,
I got to remember computational device. That's going to go in my head.
And I had that wild card of Michael McDowell, and he was just freaking gravy for 2/3 of the race. Man.
Yep. I was thinking you just might pull that off.
And I had Christopher Bell who won out on lap 2.
Same. Yeah.
All right. Might be time to award some freaking GTs to somebody, whoever was part of the giveaway this weekend, Richard C. Scott.
Although I did have Ryan Blaney, and he was second. So, hey,
I had the 2 Kyles, and they were both top 10. So,
hey, Crasher, Indianapolis Motor Speedway is once again aggravated with Formula One. They were kind of aggravated with NASCAR, but NASCAR was wise, and they backed off this statement. They took the tweet down that referred to one certain sentence that Indianapolis Motor Speedway copyrighted or copywritten? Trademarked back in 1986-87. What might that be?
The greatest spectacle in racing. That's not a very good Tom Carnegie voice, but for those of you that know, you know.
What?
Yeah, well, I tried. The greatest spectacle in racing. Yes, it was trademarked by the Holman George family in the mid-'80s. And around, when did the Vegas F1 promotions begin? When did those advertisements go out? I believe it was 12 months ago, so around this time last year.
Right.
And they were calling it the greatest spectacle, Las Vegas. When F1 comes to Las Vegas, it will be the greatest spectacle in motorsports. Well, that was the first rub. IndyCar officials, Mark Miles specifically, and others, and IMS officials, Doug Bowles, put some phone calls out to F1, had a few chats. The subject went away. But the advertisements didn't, but the subject died for a while. Then come May, the month of the Indy 500, which is the greatest spectacle in racing, which is held at the racing capital of the world. Both of those are trademarked by, well, now it's the Roger Penske Entertainment owns it now with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the IndyCar Series. But the first weekend in May last year was the Miami Grand Prix. And LL Cool J gets on the mic introducing the greatest 20 drivers of the world, in the world, getting ready to race the greatest spectacle in motorsports. Rubs IndyCar wrong yet again. So that was twice. And according to Mark Miles, CEO of IndyCar and IMS, there were several get-togethers with IndyCar brass and Formula One brass and how this can't continue because this is a trademark saying. I will say this, though. The trademark saying is the greatest spectacle in racing. It's not the greatest spectacle in motorsports. The word motorsports, of which Formula One is using. Is that enough to matter? I don't know. But fast forward to now recently, there's apparently a merchandise brand out there that Liberty Media and Formula One is behind. And it has the actual wording now, the greatest spectacle in racing. So here we go.
Well,
Round three.
There is some protection. I've done this before. I've trademarked some things, and anything that you could say that would change it, but still keep it in that industry that could possibly confuse people by confusing them with you. that's an infringement. And the only thing that they could stand on possibly is whether or not the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has done all this trademark work globally. And if they haven't, then they may not have much of a leg to stand on. But if they trademarked it globally and F1 is a global business, then they don't have much of a leg to stand on.
Then how would it, okay, merchandise line aside, the alleged merchandise line, let's not talk about that right now. Let's go back to 2023 in the advertising of the greatest spectacle in motorsports that F1 was using, and how those are both American events because they used it for Las Vegas and for Miami. So with those being American events, even though F1 is global, and if the Indianapolis Motor Speedway doesn't have a global trademark on the greatest spectacle in racing, because those events are American based, would it matter?
It would matter. It would be up to a court to decide, whether a judge or a jury, but it would matter. The issue is whether or not what you are putting out there is going to be confusing to the people who hear it. And if it's in the same industry, that's the argument that they would make.
That's confusion.
There was a guy who went by the name of SpeedFreak who covered motorsports in Indianapolis about 20 years ago. And we kindly asked him to stop using that word because of the confusion of as if he was part of SpeedFreaks.
Mm-hmm.
And he continued to, and he stopped using, hey, this is the SpeedFreak checking in from the Indianapolis 500. So I hear exactly what Statman is saying in order to shut them. Liberty Media, it's Liberty Media that owns Formula One.
And Liberty Media that wanted to buy the IndyCar series and was told no.
Yeah.
So is this because they have a chip on their shoulder? Quite potentially, but
no, they may force the issue and force it into court, and then here's some money go away. But yeah, if Indianapolis Motor Speedway has taken all of the legal steps to protect itself, then somebody's going to have to cease and desist.
I have a solution. Instead of going to court, we settle it on the track. So hear me out, everybody. Okay.
No.
So Max Verstappen, 3-time world champion, probably going to win it again. Was the fastest time in their testing session this past weekend. He's got to come over to IndyCar. Okay. He's got to race in the Indianapolis 500. And the stakes are, if he wins the race, the trademark moves over to Formula One. Okay. And if he doesn't, too bad. IndyCar gets to keep it. Stakes, Indy 500. Do it.
Dang it. You want to put it
solution.
all on the alleged a-hole, Max Verstappen. Really?
Yes.
He wouldn't have the cojones to race the high-speed oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
He's the greatest driver in the sport right now.
Kyle Larson would beat his ass at the Indianapolis 500.
Yes. Max Verstappen's not the greatest driver right now. He's just in a better car. He is such a jerk. I don't even want to talk about Max Verstappen. He would whine. He would have going into turn one. He'd be like, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" He just no. Get him.
So
in
you're
any
saying
angle.
he'd become the Ayatollah complaining, huh?
What the hell did you just say?
Let's go.
Ayatollah.
Man.
It's a reference from 1979 stat, man.
We're doing a lot of old references, aren't we?
Dang.
Water cooler and Ayatollah.
It's a good thing this show's coming to an end. About a minute. Holy smokes.
Yeah, Verstappen couldn't get in an Indy car at Indianapolis to save his life. No way.
Really?
No way.
Richie, you're looking forward to the Formula One season? Really?
Yeah, I'll watch. I'm watching next week. It's on a Saturday morning. Let's go.
I'll watch that. That's it.
Because the season is still up. It's a brand new year. We don't know what's going to happen.
It's like the Oakland A's. Every time there's the first pitch of the season in the spring, spring training, Oakland A's got a shot at it.
Yeah, that's why Liberty Media wants a lawsuit, or why they're doing this, because they know if Max Verstappen runs away with another season, their ratings are in the massive tank. This is their only way at publicity anymore in the U.S. market. Yeah. Forget it.
Hey, I'm sorry, Chelsea Denofa. We couldn't get to you, man. You're sitting out there in the wings again. Once again, had to blow you off, my friend. Yeah, that's true. Liberty Media. It will be the drive to survive. There's a big lawsuit coming on. What the hell is going on? Thank you. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. All right, Statman. Shoot the juice to the moose.
And cut it loose.
Please. We'll see you, Freak Nation. Till this time. Next time. Next week.
Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined.
You take car maintenance seriously, and you want to pass on that legacy of care. Use Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer to shield your engine from excessive heat, debris, and friction. Trust Lucas Oil. It works.
Whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Worldwide Technology Raceway on June 1st and 2nd, 2024. The time to get your tickets is now.
Let's go! Yeah!
For only $10 down, you can lock in your seats for an incredible weekend of family fun, featuring the Enjoy Illinois 300 and the Confluence Music Festival. It all adds up to one amazing party. Go to WWTRaceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.